How to write your own Tintin story. Basically, this is a project I took on as part of like fact fiction, fan fiction exchange a couple months back. I don't know when. So lost. Every day's the same. Uh, but this is the Adventures of Tintin. The story I came up with anyway is the Adventures of Tintin, the signet ring of Chevalier de Haddock. Cause I read the books in French. I think that's context for you, I guess. On like some of the choices I made in the story. When I was like young, I read it in French because I'm French. It's just a thing that happens. Um, but basically, um, I had this idea that like I would make a video on this, and that was my run. That was my gag. That was the gag. And they always tell you to bet everything on what you're good at. And I'm betting on Tintin because like I'm really I like did a lot of research for this project. Thought that was a good joke. Uh, and like it's like betting on something meaningless. But I don't know. I'm quite knowledgeable on it. I did a lot of research. I reread like the books 15 times, like in addition to what I've done before, I guess. It's just like I know a lot about the stories, and I try to capture that in my story. So we've got our main character, this guy, Tintin. He's basically like the main character, James Bond type. Yeah, he's like a James Bond type character a little bit. He's a reporter. He's like always putting his life in danger, also solving mystery, traveling to exotic location, getting captured, you know, escaping in the nick of time. He's basically he's James Bond, but he's like a Belgian reporter, you know. And like there's like other characters that are important. There's Milou, as you know him as Snowy, probably. He's the dog here. He's like he likes alcohol for some reason. He's like often drunk, and he's like always running after the cat that's in the manor, which is like another of his character traits. And then there's um, the relationship with Tintin is quite interesting. In the story, he's like Milou is all like always saving Tintin. Like there's a scene where he's like Tintin gets captured. I think it's also in the movie. Tintin gets captured in a car. Milou Snowy, I guess, runs after him, uh, and like breaks him out. But like in the next scene, Milou like wants to dig for a bone, and Tintin like yells at him, basically telling him, don't stray away, don't go for the bone, like stay with me and do what I say. Which is, I don't know. I felt like that was a character trait I wanted to put in an emphasis on because like Tintin doesn't have a lot of character in him. I felt like keeping that aspect of him was like something that I wanted to be there to just show like he's not perfect. He's not like a white piece of bread. He's like he has like he's like more than that a little bit. He's not initially a good character all around. He has complex relationship with his dog, I guess. And then you have Captain Haddock, which I translated the captain just for fun, I guess. He's like the other main character. He's like a really recurring character after uh, the Secret of the Unicorn book. And he's like in this version, he's the love interest, I guess. He's like uh, always drunk. Uh, Tintin wants to make him sober. It's like the arc they have is like Tintin's trying to make him quit his bad habit of drinking, which is like a good thing, I guess. Like in the grand scheme of things, like Tintin's trying to do good, but he comes off as sort of admonishing when he does it. So like he has that holier than thou attitude to his character Tintin, I guess. And then Adog is like chaos incarnate. He's like drunk and like fighting, and like even when he's not drunk, sometimes he's just fighting in the void for no reason and like yelling at clouds and seeing mirages. He's like a very colorful character, and like I felt that that was something to really pull out of that, and like his insults and everything. I'll talk more probably on it later. Then you have like characters I didn't really use, but I'll touch on briefly just so you know like what kind of story world they live in, because it's quite a interesting book. So you have Default Tournesol, which is Kubert Calculus. He's like the inventor guy. He's mostly deaf, but sometimes he's not because he has like a little cone, and sometimes he loses it, and then he becomes deaf again. He's like hard of hearing, and it's sort of interesting how they use it to like advance the plot and like ignore what Haddock and Tintin want, is like moving the plot forward for them and kind of being chaotic and like thinking like he's doing good, and then Captain yells at him and he thinks, oh yeah, that sounds good, I did a good thing, you're very thankful to me. He's a quite funny character, I really like him. I couldn't really include him in this story sadly because it was like a limiting and can't include everything. You have Bianca Castafiore, which is like basically the only woman in the Tintin multiverse. Basically, she's also in the movie. She has like a brief cameo, basically where she's like singing and stuff, and like everyone hates it. Basically, she's like is like the stereotype of a woman. Basically, like what Hergé would think about women at large, probably. Like, it's a quite a sexist stereotype, I guess. Like, she's annoying, she's like, uh, full of herself, and she's like, always wants to be the center of attention. And like, she's the only representation of what being a woman is in this world. So, like, it's comes off a little bit like a bad stereotype, but it's no work is perfect, and I think she's a fun character. Like every character is like a caricature of something. Like Nestor is a caricature of like a butler. Like he's super agile. He's like always serving ad hoc and like the greater good, I guess. Defun is like the mad scientist. She's like the selfish soprano. It's just like a shame there's not more women and everything. And then you have Dupont and Dupont, which is translated to Thompson and Thompson, which I think is, I don't know. It just baffles me that it needed to be translated. Like, Tifon Tournesol, I don't mind so much. I guess Cuber Calculus is kind of cute. It loses, like, it, like, keeps the alteration, and I guess, like Trifon's not something very French. Tournesol is very French. This sounds like a regular name. This doesn't sound like a regular name you would find. You know, Cubert's a very regular name. Trifon is not a name that exists in any sense. So, like, changing that as, like, I don't know. But it keeps the, like, alteration, makes it clear he's a sort of Santos guy. I don't mind it that much. To point I think it's a really shame. It's a shame. Like, how can you tell them apart? Like, you know, because in French it's Dupont D and Dupont T. And it's easy to tell because this one has a D mustache. So this is Dupont D. And this one his mustache is sort of shaped like a T. So it's Dupont with a T. And when you translate it to Thompson and Thompson, it doesn't make any sense. Like, this is Thompson without a P and Thompson with a P. And none of their mustaches shaped like a P. So, I don't even know if Thompson is Dupont with a D, or if it's Thompson with a P that's Dupont with a D. I have no clue. So it's kind of confusing for that, but I don't know. I'm just, like, waffling about nothing. Our main goal with this story was to fulfill fanfiction thing. And basically what they asked was to have a calculus, like, Tournesol, I guess. Calculus crossover with Skittles commercial or addict tripping on magic mushrooms. But the thing is, you can totally ignore that. Like, the only thing you really have to keep in mind is the do not once, which is first person or second person, cross-dressing, which is a shame, I feel. I mean, I wasn't thinking about it, but, like, I don't know. And also transcend canon, which is also a thing where, I guess, like, whatever. Like, it's like, my goal with the story was, like, to be in the spirit of Hergé, to, like, sort of do a story that could fit in this world and to fit in that. So, like, it's a bit, cause, like, you know, it would fun to play with the idea that, like, maybe Tintin is trans, and, you know, what would that mean in a world where, you know, women are reduced to being Bianca Castafiore, or, you know, cross-dressing, you know, sort of Mulan style. That could be an interesting dynamic to dialogue with, like, this, like, world where, like, the only option for women is to be Bianca Castafiore, basically. But whatever. Also, you know, racism also exists in, like, in addition to sexism, as, like, something that's kind of, you know, exists in this world. And we're just gonna sort of ignore that it exists. You know, you sort of backpedaled on it in his later years. Like, those are, like, clear caricature, and in the end, like, he's sort of friendly with, like, the Asian, but, like, I don't know. It's very iffy, and it's better not to talk about. I think the person didn't want also political commentary, so, you know, just also ignore it. So, like, our main goal was, well, my main goal was to, as I said, like, keep the style of Hergé. So like the insult of Adok, which, are really funny and amazing. It's like a way to get around censorship. And the second thing I wanted to put an emphasis on was this habit of Urge to do like series of panels that are very like slapstick in nature, like chaotic and a mess, and just like a little slapstickiness to it, and that movement that I wanted to capture. So like the chaos of Tintin that I wanted to put. So like, now I'm gonna read the story. I guess I don't know. I hope it turns out well. So this is the adventure of Tintin, the signet ring of Chevalier de Haddock. On a warm summer evening, Tintin was walking briskly toward Marlin Spike Hall. Thank God. I always forget that. That's such a weird thing that they changed it. Because like Tintin is French. Why would the building not be named Moulin Saw? It doesn't make sense to me. I guess it reinforces like the character of Haddock as like a captain, and like this is the founded by a captain. I'm sure it makes more sense than Moulin Saw, but Moulin Saw is so iconic. I don't know, but whatever. We have Tintin walking briskly towards Martian's Pike. All of a sudden, his dog starts running away. "Come back here, son," Snowy exclaimed. "There's no time to meander. The captain." He didn't have time to finish his sequence. Before him was the captain, majestically riding a black horse. "Oh, Tintin, you caught me rather unaware. Just let me get." But as the captain tried to dismount, the horse threw him off, and he fell on his ass. Oof. The horse ran away. The captain got back up and started after it. "Come back here, you waffle make." Then Haddock tripped on the hole Snowy had made while digging a bone, fell face first on the grass. Tintin helped him back up. "Are you all right, Captain?" "Billions of blue blistering barnacles," Haddock swore. "I'll take that as a get. Yes, let's take you home." As soon as they got inside the manor, Snowy saw his nemesis. That's the cat, by the way. I don't know if that's clear. Started chasing it around the manor. Tintin followed Snowy, calling him Bat, while making his way through what had become sort of countryside thanks to the captain's effort to renovate the manor. The cat and the dog were under a step ladder, and the son was standing on as he was patching a crack on the wall. They almost made him fall, but he was able to right himself thanks to a remarkable sense of balance. Tintin cat after his dog and chased it, and as it chased the cat and went under one of the numerous objects covered by white sheets. When the dog came out, he took the sheet with him. It entered his vision and he hit the wall. "This is what you get, Snowy," Tintin admonished. Turned around and saw the most beautiful motorcycle he'd ever seen in his life. It was painted jet black with the motor and exhaust creating a chrome underside. A series of white teeth around the front made it look like a shark with headlights for its eyes. It had a sidecar resembling a black bird with a golden beak and raised wings. It seemed big enough for a passenger to fit in. Strange vehicle contained plenty of unlabeled buttons and seemed typical of Kubert calculus. a scientist they befriended during their search for the unicorn. So in the movie, Hubert Calculus not even mentioned, but I put him there because he's in the sequel. Like if they make a sequel, he's like in the when they search for the unicorn, they use the submarine he makes, and it's the like shark submarine. And I wanted the motorcycle to like echo that shark. I guess I made the sidecar look like a bird for like reason that will become obvious later. Tintin's thoughts were interrupted by the captain bursting into the room. Did anything break? He roared. Then he saw Tintin staring at the motorcycle and addressed the offended dog. You blistering nincompoop! You ruined my surprise. He took a deep breath and turned to Tintin, slightly scratching the back of his neck. Sorry, I wanted to give you, well, us, something to remember, a last adventure together. Something that would be useful for our future ones. As Tintin was about to thank him, Nestor turned to the room. Master, it's horrible. The signet ring of your ancestor is missing. Not only that, the thief left a message. Licorice-livered lubberly scum and thousands of thundering typhoons. They won't get away with this. Come on, sailor, after them, the captain exploded. Tintin had to stop him from running out of the room. I don't know, unrelatedness or uncanny ability to keep his balance. Tintin, we have to keep a cool head and take this through. You're right, my boy, he turned to Nestor. Fetch up some whiskey. There will be none of that, thank you, Tintin declared with finality. Now let us read this message. Quivering at the last, didn't even bother to write the message themselves, and Doug waved the letter to Tintin to show the mess of glued on words that looked like they were clipped from a newspaper. He continued, just wanted to show you I could take all of your most precious possession. Come to the top of the Eiffel Tower by midnight or else. And it's signed, R.R. Red Rackham. It must be this Callywag Saccharin or one of his men. We must leave at once if we want to make it in time, the captain yelled. There must be another option. Come on, sailor. I know Saccharin. I know Alan. Men like them always make good on their threats. Very well, Captain. So yeah, in the Tintin movie canon, they make some like changes to the original story, which include making Saccharin, which was like just a minor side character in the original, into like the main villain of the movie. And also like Alan is also evil and also involved. He's like Saccharin henchman. And like I don't know. Watch the movie for more detail, I don't know. I'll just keep going. They embarked on the motorcycle and drove through Addock's estate at breakneck speed. Tintin chirped sharply, sending Story right into the sidecar's console. Even though in surprise, the captain was able to hold on to him. An ominous click was heard as the sidecar uncoupled for the motorcycle, and the blackbird slowly spread its wing. Got off the ground as Tintin caught up to it. It was barely able to jump from the motorcycle seat and grab the captain's end, and he pulled them straight into the aircraft. However, their ride was so unsteady that they ended up crashing in a nearby field. So, I don't know, the sidecar, shaped like a bird, can also fly. So the idea was like sort of a, Mission Impossible type stunt situation. I don't know if I describe it well. Honestly, it could be better. But, the idea is there. Addock extracted himself and Tintin from the wreckage of the sidecar. Billions of bilious blue blistering barnacles in a torturing typhoon. Those scoundrels won't get away this easily. Let's get back to Malix McMarino. We'll take the car. Wait, Captain, Tintin interrupted. This doesn't seem like saccharine style. That it might have been a trap created by some Azalea, but you seem far too eager to fall right into their grasp. Something simply does not add up. You're far too smart for your own good, sailor. Arduck murmured darkly. Tintin was overcome by the fear of being hit on the head and kidnapped. Again, maybe he had misjudged the captain and he had been playing him this whole time. Haddock's voice brought him back to reality. Tintin, thundering typhoon. I don't want to do this, Tintin's mind caught on the E. The hope that Haddock was being forced to do this, that he was indeed a good man. You don't have to. Whatever saccharine has on you can make it on a go away. They shared a meaningful look. Together. Haddock blinked. You would do that for me? Tintin took the captain and reassured him. Of course, whatever you need. You are so, Haddock said, looking at Tintin. You always know the right thing to say. Can you keep this safe for me? He put something in Tintin's hand and wrapped his finger around the small object to hide it from view. The journalist opened his palm to reveal a silver signet that originally belonged to Chevalier Francois d'Albuck. It was easy to tell because of the small unicorn that was engraved on its flat surface. He had a million questions, but asked the only one that mattered right now. You had it all this time? Yes, Haddock said innocently. I wanted to give it to you on the top of the Eiffel Tower. But I guess this field we crash landed on will have to do. Look serious now. Tintin. Oh, blistering. Billions of blue blistering barnacles. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. This really was a setup then, Tintin realized. Never was a theft, and this fool I was sure was only a masquerade. You had recruited Nestor and Calculus till you pull it off. Were you ever under Saccharines' influence? Haddock smiled sheepishly. You really are too smart. Can I have this back? Tintin shot back, tossing the ring back to the captain, hitting his cheek and falling into the grass. Come on, Snowy. Find our own way back home, he said before storming off. Tintin! He didn't turn around. Tintin, listen, you freshwater sailor. No clue how to navigate this. Like you the way I should like a woman. Captain, Tintin went back to him. This ring represents a promise that as long as you're by my side, I'll never marry. Oh, Captain, Captain. Snowy gave Tintin back the ring. We'll keep this safe for you. And they kiss, I guess. And yeah, well, that was the story. I hope you liked it. Stay tuned for more. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know how this will turn out. We'll see. I guess.